It is time to put the hammer down! That is right, because the glorious Asgardian Thor is back, as well as his brother Loki, to cause mischief and mayhem. Because, let's face it, we need a new superhero film. I'm just kidding, we don't need it anymore. No, I'm kidding again. We do need it. We need it a lot. Superhero films are the only things keeping me in business and keeping me going to the movies. Because let's face it, it's pretty fucking awesome. I'm not gonna lie. But yes, we are going back to Asgard and Earth once again because we're going over Thor: The Dark World. Yes, this will be Phase 2, Part 2, and as the storyline goes, it follows it. It's actually a better follow-up to the Avengers from Phase 1 than Iron Man 3. I was actually shocked when when it was released. It's actually easier to watch Phase One, and then through Avengers, and then Dark World, and then Iron Man 3. But it's just to me, this just seems easier for it to watch it that way than the way they have you wanting to watch Avengers, and Iron Man 3, and then Thor, and then Dark World. It makes it whatever. Who cares? Obviously, I'm hoping they know what they're doing because none it whatever. But nonetheless, the storyline worked and it flowed very well to the to push the Avengers plot, or at least Thor's part, I should say. Actually, no, actually, it pushes the Avengers plot a lot, especially when you get to the middle credit scene. But Dark World is actually is on its own film. So don't get me wrong. Honestly, I did find a few things that were wrong with it. The main problem was that I really didn't like the way it started. Look, I get that you need to tell us about the villain of the movie, of the film, but you should do it the right way. Specifically, you have a franchise such as Marvel and or Thor for that matter. You know, if you do it the right way, it helps. In my mind, what should have been done is you place a trigger, a Dark Elves trigger in Avengers, or maybe the first Thor. Maybe as an extra credit scene, maybe after, you know, um, the credits, completely after the credits, or maybe in the middle credits. I don't know where they should have put it. Maybe they should have put it in the actual film itself. Maybe like give it a little wink, like, oh, by the way, Thor Dark World, we're gonna have some dark elves. It's just weird that we didn't hear anything of it. Granted, I know sometimes people wanna be surprised, and you get that, but I still would rather have to be prepared in ahead, especially for a villain for a main film that's leading to a bigger film, which Thor is. It's a brick inside the wall of Avengers. That's what it basically is. If you want to take that analogy and run with it, which I kind of do. I kind of just came up with that myself. But look, yeah, you have to put it in as a trigger in the before. Now, granted, Thor needed to push the Avengers plot line, but I mean, come on. Advanced knowledge would have been more than satisfactory. It's not even just that. It's that the dark. I get that the Dark Elves are part of the Marvel universe, but the problem lied with the overall presentation of them. They looked and sounded like they were part of the Lord of the Rings franchise, which, if you don't know this, they are completely different franchises and completely different fandoms. It was very odd because the way that they spoke. I'm serious. Their speech, the way that they were speaking to each other, it sounded very Lord of the Rings. It was definitely Elvish or something, because or maybe it was Klingon. I don't know. It was definitely a mix of the two of them because it definitely sounded weird. It definitely had some both dialects inside. Almost a Dalek there for a second. As you can tell, I'm a little Doctor Who uh, enthusiast. Uh, we're getting close to the 50th, but whatever. Um, yeah, they definitely had some again dialects with them. It was very I didn't like it at all. It was very odd because every time they spoke to each other, like, where's the ring? Where's Frodo? It was bad. And oh, not to mention that I'm not gonna tell you. Don't worry, I'm not gonna tell you who's involved with the middle credit scene, which I'm far more than happy about. By the way, I like that that they're bringing this character in, but I will say this: his character and Thanos don't directly connect to each other in the comic at all. I mean, they may glance at each other, they may mention each other, but they don't connect at all. So what I'm gathering is what they're probably going to do is probably they're gonna have to completely create their own storyline, which I don't know if that's a good idea because they're based off the Brick movies. The part movies have been based off of the comics. Now I don't know if they're gonna just bring in a little part of the comic and then build off that, or if they're gonna go completely nuts for it. Now I'm actually excited for the rest of Phase 3 because with Phase 3 you're getting Captain America, which is next after this, and then you're gonna have Guardians of the Galaxy, and then the Age of Ultron, Avengers 2. Now it's gonna be a good phase, but if you the it does link to the next two movies, and that movie will link up to Avengers, uh, which is going to be very interesting to see because the way that they set it up has Thanos and his character link up. I don't like that they're doing that. I don't mind that they're doing that, but they're obviously going to have to like fight each other, which is fine, you know, because obviously heroes like it when villains fight each other. You know, it works for their advantage. But it it's just going to be interesting to see how this all works out. I really hope they know what they're doing. Honestly though, Dark World was good enough, almost great. It was it in a way. I mean, it was way, and I mean way better than its previous installment. I mean, much better than in every aspect. Now, there are a lot of reasons to see this, you know, such as casting, CGI, the dialogue, the writing, the directing. I mean, it goes on and on. I mean, and all of them are valid because it's exactly what you wanted in the Thor film from previous. You know, granted, the first one was an intro film because that's what we needed. You need an intro film to obviously intro you into the universe of Thor. So that's what you get from the first one. But here you get way more than you bargained for. You know, everyone stepped up their game. But I personally want to thank Kat Dennings and Tom Hiddleston. If you guys are watching, I hope you guys are. You two made this film what it is. You both were hilarious, and every time you were on film, it just was so much better watching it, and I didn't fall asleep. Granted, I didn't fall asleep at all during this film because it was great, but with Dennings and Hiddleston, I mean, it was the when until they it wasn't even good until they actually entered the film. I mean, I don't know whoever wrote their dialogue was fantastic and dead on with you know with giving what the audience what we wanted. Um, they made the film. It was hilarious. They picked up a lot of slack, and I mean a lot of slack. I'm not gonna say it didn't hit. I'm not gonna hit the spoiler button here, but it wasn't even just them. It was definitely the cameo that made this movie so awesome. The the cameo that's in here is so good. It's the best cameo I have seen since Hugh Jackman in the First Class movie for X-Men. Yeah, it's that good of a cameo. I would not lie to my fans. It is that good of a cameo, and I cannot wait for you guys to see this. Look, the film it was good. It was an amazing cast. You know, the second half is way better. Trust me. It just is. I did laugh though when Malekith, who's played by Christopher Eccleston, only because he played an alien destroying London. And now I'll pause for a moment because some of you are laughing at that comment, and the others are just staring at me like I'm a crazy person on crack. I will not explain that joke because you need to figure that one out yourselves. If you get it, congratulations, you are part of the nerd fandom. Um, I do I do recommend this film. I have to because I don't have to, but I really did enjoy it. I mean even just looking at these posters, I mean they were just amazing. Um, they were amazing. It was good. It was done well. It flowed through the whole movie except for right after the intro of the Dark Elves, which was stupid. It pretty much takes off right there, and then when you get Kat Dennings and Loki involved, it's just even better than that. As part of the Marvel universe, it's one of the Phase bricks. Um, I really you guys hope check this out. I've actually seen this 3 times already. I've actually seen this in IMAX and 3D and regular, and I loved it every time. Especially in IMAX, it definitely gave me a better experience. Uh, to experience Thor in, because it's kind of cool the way they do that. So I would like to direct you to either you can choose the good or evil, and I just realized that myself, to be honest with you. It's like I have 2 little angels on the behind me. Got Thor and Loki behind me. It's actually kind of funny. Make sure you guys select subscribe to my channel, and with the mighty Mew Mew, please share on Facebook and on Twitter. And goes whatnot. I don't, and guess what, guys? I do not know what I'm going to see. Well, that's probably not true, but because I finally finished, I caught up with my schedule, and this is the final film until the next one I see. I'm so happy about that. I don't have to worry about this anymore until my next film. Um, I guarantee you it'll probably be Hunger Games, so make sure you guys check that out. So if it's highly likely, the odds are in my favor. Check it out.